Hello and welcome to the morning sports briefing here on Saturday, the 24th of October. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. Sorry, things are moving around a bit for those of you that are watching watching the show live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. Not in my usual setup today. In the news today, we'll be talking about rugby, both in Europe and also down here in New Zealand. We'll have a chat about the America's Cup. There's been controversy at the Giro d'Italia, and we've got the Vuelta a España also going ahead. There's also golf tournaments for Lydia Ko and Danny Lee, as well as news from squash. So let's get straight onto it and talk about the America's Cup. Now, for the America's Cup, they have.
Hey guys, Luke here. I'm here to tell you about the Meadow Makers Home Burger Challenge. You could win New Zealand's biggest.
Sorry about that, folks. I was talking about A, B, C.
You'll be right. Grow up here. Here, nah.
We need to rewrite what it means to be a man.
Join Mac Chisholm as he
We need to stop these videos from playing or also playing.
We're all talking and sharing. It's just normal, isn't it? Men helping men be better men. But seeking the right help and talking to the right people.
So sorry about that, folks. There are on the America's Cup, there are a number of courses that had been laid out. Courses A, B, and C were close to the shore so that the public could watch the actual races, but they can't be used for the entirety of the tournament, and also practice on it was limited as well, and that was challenged by the challengers, taken to arbitration, and they decided that actually those courses could not be used at all, and wiped those courses out. There is no grounds for appeal, so the only way that this can be changed is if the challengers and Team New Zealand agree to their re-inclusion in the tournament. So we'll have to see how that progresses. Team New Zealand saying that this was agreed back in February. Luna Rosa saying they didn't know about it until September. So we'll have to wait and see the outcome of that one. But Team New Zealand has said they will move heaven and earth to try and get the two courses back into play. It has led to lots of public statements from particularly the Team New Zealand side around this one. Over in the golf and at the LPGA Drive On Championship, Lydia Ko is out on the course at the moment, currently on the through the second hole on round 2, and she is tied at 24th at the moment. So I'm at 2 under par. The leader, Ali McDonald, is at 10 under par currently and has finished her second round. So got some ground there for Lydia Ko to catch up, but she has still got 16 holes to do so. Over in the PGA, and Danny Lee is down in tied 59th. After the opening round of the Zozo Championship. He is, the leader is Harris English at 9 under par. So Danny Lee at evens is 9 shots off the lead in that one. And we'll keep track on how they both go coming over the rest of their tournaments. At that Zozo Championship, Rory McIlroy had a bit of a shocker, finishing at 1 over par, and didn't help himself by snapping one of his clubs in frustration as well. So yes, not not a good day for Roy McIlroy in that one. Over in the Grand Prix, in Formula One, and it's Portuguese Grand Prix weekend, but practice had to be cut short after Max Verstappen and Lance Stroll had a crash that decided after it had been reviewed that neither driver was wholly or predominantly at fault, so no punishment for those in that one. Yes, but clearly the drivers need to, if they're going to, it's a lot of work now for the mechanics to get those two drivers ready for qualifying and also the race. In rugby, over in the UK, or even in England, it is the Premiership final this weekend as Exeter Chiefs take on Wasps. This was it was unknown as to whether Wasps would make the final due to COVID issues and having the number of positive tests that they have had. In the end, they are going to take the pitch, and Bristol aren't going to be substituted as instead, but they have to do so without 4 of their players, all in the forwards. Brad Shields is missing, as are props Kieran Brooks and Simon McIntyre and hooky Alf Barbary. Fekitoa is also out with a groin injury as well, so it's going to be it's going to be a tough one for Wasps in that one that's coming up. Over here, Otago had a dominant win over Northland last night in the Mitre 10 Cup, winning that one 30-7. They went out to a 13-0 lead despite missing 3 kicks in that first half. Kicking improved in the second, and they made all their kicks. But it was already 23-0 by the time that Northland managed to get themselves on the board on the hour mark. So, yeah, great performance, a very good performance there by Otago in the Mitre 10 Cup. Don't forget that today we have the first of the semi-finals in the Farah Palmer Cup as Canterbury host Auckland at 4:35, and then tomorrow on Sunday we'll have Waikato versus Manawatu in the second semi-final for the Farah Palmer Cup. I will be at the Bay of Plenty game today against Canterbury in the Mitre 10 Cup, and Stephen will be at North Harbour versus Auckland this evening. So do keep an eye on the New Zealand Sports Radio Facebook page for coverage of those games and also our post-match interviews. Over in the cycling and at the Giro d'Italia, there was a rider protest. After a bridge had collapsed, the stage 19 was extended by another 5 kilometres that took it out to 258 kilometres. It was going to be a wet and cold day as well, and the riders protested at such a long stage in the third week of the race. A compromise was reached. They rolled out and got in their coaches, and in the end, it was shortened to 124 kilometres in that one. Primož Roglič survived it unscathed and stayed in the lead of that one. Wrong race. Primož Roglič is at the Vuelta a España. Spin over to the correct stage. And Josfrey Cerny of CCC won at stage 19, but amongst the favourites, it stayed the same. Wilco Kelderman is 12 seconds ahead of his teammate Jai Hindley, with Teo Gegenhardt at 15 seconds in the third. Over in the Vuelta a España, Primož Roglič survived a nervous day. In that one, and sort of a windy stage, but in the end, all finished together. I don't think anyone lost any particular time. This one had to change because both the Tour de France and the Giro d'Italia have had to change at some stages because they're not able to go into France as part of them due to COVID. And so that will take, so that obviously they've had to alter stages to cope with that. Moving on to the where are we going to move on to? Oh yes, back to rugby again, and Alwyn Jones will equal Richard McCaw's world record of most Test caps this weekend when Wales take on France in Paris. It'll be his 148th Test, which includes 9 for the British and Irish Lions. So congratulations to Alwyn Jones. Clearly he'll be overtaking Richard McCaw during the Six Nations game next weekend, assuming that A, he doesn't get injury, and B, COVID allows those games to go ahead. Also, Julian Savea has signed for the Hurricanes for next season. He came in as a late replacement after for the Hurricanes after they lost Van Wyk, I think it was to injury, and now went overseas. So yes, he has returned for the Hurricanes. So congratulations to him for his on his new signing. And you have up to speed with all of the important sports news this morning. Have a fantastic weekend, folks. Say some good rugby coming up. Don't forget to keep an eye on our Facebook page. So Stephen will be at the Battle of the Bridge, and I will be at Bay of Plenty today. So, and also the soon kicking off with Scotland versus Georgia, I believe. So I'm about to go watch that game over my breakfast. So have a wonderful weekend, folks, and catch you all tomorrow at 7 a.m. for the morning sports briefing.